Hello and welcome back to the 12th episode of our still unnamed survival series. With me, Red Skies. We've got a lot of things to do today and very little time to do it. Today we are tackling farms. Lots and lots of farms. We need a few different farms. We need a squid farm and we need a general mob farm. We need a lot of bones, a lot of gunpowder, and a lot of squid ink. We're going to be using the squid ink for building materials for our base. Of course, we need quite a hefty amount of dark prismarine, and this is going to be a good spot for it. Not too far. We won't waste as many rockets traveling back and forth. And while we're on the subject of wasting things like rockets, I think it would be a smart thing to just get a whole bunch of trees. When you break down trees, you can always make them into planks, and then you can place 4 times as many blocks as you break. So that is what our farms are going to be made out of, is spruce planks and spruce buttons. And a little bit of glass. I went a little overboard with gathering these logs. That's the empty one, right there. We're about halfway to our 30 chest thing here, and instead of using spruce, I decided that we would actually just use some of the wood we got from deforesting, which is this one right here. We also farmed up quite a bit of acacia just for our base. So I'm thinking we're gonna grab some of this wood and then just get to building. We need some sand. We have some sand, an adequate amount of sand, which we will be smelting the old-fashioned way, the slow way. And now we are just going to be starting construction. We're going to go up. Kind of far up. Maybe 60 blocks? Somewhere around here. Okay, so now this is our little starting point here. We are just going to make a bit of a platform, and this is where all of our items will be going. This is probably going to be our AFK point, and just some lovely stuff here. We are now directly underneath our AFK point. We are going to be measuring the distance to where we are going to be putting the mob farm. We want that around 20-25 blocks away to the first spawning point, and we're just going to be counting the distance from our little AFK spot. This is going to be quite a big farm, and we need to take that into consideration when laying everything out. Math is your friend. So I placed that block there so we can put 8 out from it. Our water is going to be falling onto this platform, and that little drop makes it so we don't have to place any more water. It's your simple water mob collection system. I don't know what they're called, but they're everywhere. Now we're just going to fill this in. This is going to be the lowest layer of our mob collection system. This is gonna be filled with water and push them all into that central hole. So we've filled in that little central area, which is 18 by 18 with the 2 by 2 hole directly in the center. And now we're working on the part after it. This is the part that our first water is gonna sit on, which is 7 out square from that central piece. Now that we have our little outside area filled in, we're going to be adding a perimeter, which is going to be 1.5 tall, 1 block, 1 slab, just to negate spawning and to hold the water in. So satisfying to use ice instead of water buckets. Stackable water, easy peasy. But not if you don't have a fortune pickaxe. Then it becomes tedious and mildly frustrating. Still fun though. And now we are going to be working on the actual spawning platforms. Yay, progress. We're actually doing something useful now. So we're gonna go up 3 from this little base, just so mobs can flow underneath. Then we're gonna break our measuring things. I used wood in this case. And make some zigzags. We're gonna space these out so each line is 2 blocks apart. And make some more zigzags in the same pattern. They are 2 blocks apart from each other just so spiders can fall directly through. This is what it should look like. We have buttons on one side of these just so spiders can see those, think they're a full block, and walk directly off. And this is for every other mob. They'll spawn in the glass and then just get shot off one of the sides. This is 1 full layer with buttons and glass. This is 3 full layers with buttons and glass. We will be bringing it up to about here. I think that's about 12 layers, somewhere around there. There's going to be a lot of these. We need a lot of mobs. We're getting some drops already, which is fantastic. And it's only going to increase when we increase this farm too. So I'm quite excited. We're going to have a lot. Well, now that we're pretty much done, we're going to take a little tour here. It's looking pretty good. We still need a roof, but that's okay. It's looking good anyway. So this is the farm. We have 12 spawning platforms, and they're color-coded by 3, so I think that's pretty neat. And this is our sorting system. It's got a little glitch going on. I don't know why, but the actual filters keep spitting out all their items, and I don't really know how to fix that at all. I mean, it's built perfectly right, but it just keeps spitting out their items. So I'm assuming that there's a hopper bug or some form of redstone bug going on right now. I don't actually know. So we'll probably rebuild that in the future. So we're just gonna go have a look now. This is pretty ugly redstone, but it works. So we're just not gonna mess with it. Everything is connected via pressure plate to activate once we actually stand there. I like my AFK points with pressure plates, so that's what all of them will probably be. This is our Trident Killer. It's got 2 impaling 5 tridents inside. We have our repeater on this left side set 4 ticks. That's what I found worked the best, so we're just gonna keep it there. All of our items are gonna flow through this little contraption here all the way up to our AFK point in our item sort. It's looking pretty good. The only issue is it needs a roof.
This is the roof. This is the last step for this mob farm. We're going to go at 8 on each side. It's going to cast a shadow directly into our mob farm just to keep it at our spawning levels, which is light level 7. We're not going to go out much farther than 8, because at that point I think it's just overkill, waste of material. 8 seems to be the sweet spot for most of my mob farms, so we are just going to stick with that. 8 out, easy peasy. That's it before it's filled in. Everything is filled in now. We are just going to go along the top of this and put slabs over it. We again don't want any spawning up on the top of this. It's going to kill our rates. We don't want our rates killed. So we're going to put these slabs up at the top and hope for the best. Again, most of this is just to get bones and gunpowder. Those are pretty much the 2 main things we want. Well, that was quite the grind. This is the last little strip and done. Fantastic. We now have a fully built, fully functional, fantastic looking mob farm. Temporary, of course. We might eventually just blow it up with TNT. But for now, this is our primary source of flight and bones. We are going to do a quick little AFK section, remove all of our items from these chests, and test out our rates for about an hour. See what we get. I'm quite excited. Alrighty, we've been here for about an hour. We're just going to check these chests. Well, that is a lot. Well, not a lot per se for an hour, but it's good enough for my needs, and that's just gonna keep us in the air for quite some time. And that's a good thing. I honestly don't think I could live without my elytra. So now that we actually have this mob farm built, we are probably going to come on this side and build a little bit of a squid farm. We need one of those as well. I've only built one of those in the past, and that was around 1.13. I'm sure mechanics have changed since then, and we might have to do something a little different. Well, to make this squid farm now, we need a few very specific blocks. One of those blocks being magma blocks. So we are gonna pop into the nether, grab probably about a shulker box full. I would like to be prepared for the future in case we ever need them again for, say, a slime farm. Wow. Probably gonna build one of those. There's also a bastion that I would like to stop into and see if there's a magma cube spawner. If there is, then we wouldn't actually have to collect the magma blocks, and we could just make a magma block farm real quick. So we're gonna pop in there as well and check it out. It's gonna be quite a fun thing. It's also gonna be really fun in the fact that we won't actually need to destroy the world. Why are you here? We won't need to destroy the world around us to get specific items, and that's something that I also really enjoy. And we're here. I actually haven't done too many bastions since 1.16 came out. I've only done like 2, I think. So I have no idea what. Ooh, chess. I have no idea what I'm doing. They get angry when you open these, right? Ooh, a banner. I'm gonna take that gold and that banner. Snout does. I don't know what that is. Oh, hello. Those guys are scary. Maybe we can turn him into a farm. They attack everything, right? We could put him on like the bottom of a hoglin spawner. That would be kind of cool. Maybe give him a flame axe. Yeah, I think we're gonna try that eventually. Those guys don't respawn, do they? So I probably shouldn't kill them. Oh my god. Panic! Panic! Oh my gosh, I honestly did not think I was gonna get out of there alive. Bastions are scary. You just can't fly out of these things. That was like my #1 strategy in fortresses. I wonder if I could. I wonder how long it would take to just tear this down. This is a lot of blackstone that I could use and wouldn't have to craft. It's probably gonna have to go anyway, so might as well. That would take quite a while though. Unless I had a beacon. Maybe we'll get a beacon in the next few episodes here. That would be very handy with a lot of things. I would like to have at least 12 of them around my base. That is a lot though. But there was no magma cube spawner, so we are just gonna hop right into our mine, which is somewhere around here. Just for that, I'm gonna kill this guy. Cool, we had 2 gas tiers. We might be able to fight the dragon again. I think that we are just gonna time-lapse this bit and hope it looks cool. It's gonna take a while. So I kind of got lost, and I'm just digging straight out, hoping I found. Oh, speak of the devil, we found light. We found our exit. Now we gotta find where we are. Oh, I know where we are. Easy peasy. Cool. We found our shulker box. We are just gonna load up the rest of our magma blocks, and then hightail it out of this mine. We've got pretty much everything now. Well, now that we have all of the blocks that we need to build the squid farm, I'm going to do a little bit of math, make sure that our AFK point is the same AFK point as our big mob farm. We want to just go to the same spot and set our character down in AFK both farms. That's pretty much the general idea of putting the squid farm over here. So this little line right here is the level that we want our rail carts at. We are going to put magma blocks directly above this layer, so it'll be right about eye level right here, and that'll be all the way back. But before we do that, we need to actually find center of where we are going to place this farm. And we want our center to be right in line with our little AFK pressure plate right there. So we are just going to grab a few slabs, because that's what our base is going to be made out of, slabs. We want to save materials. So we are going to find center by just walking directly off the edge. And, well, you'll see. It's just simple as that. I guess we could use coordinates. That would make a little bit more sense. I always forget that I have coordinates enabled. This is the first world that I'm actually using coordinates on, just because they seemed very useful in cases like this. So I always forget to use those. Feel free to roast the heck out of me for not using my coordinates and not even realizing they're there. Okay, so we've got our square laid out. This is gonna be our squid farm. These lines right here are gonna be replaced with redstone blocks. These are to power our minecart rails. This is just our collection system. Just gonna be one big track. And I would, if I wanted to conserve redstone, I would power it from the underside, but I'm lazy, so we're just not gonna do that. So now we've got these redstone blocks in place, we are just going to start placing our rails. I always struggle at placing rails. These are the most unnecessarily confusing item in Minecraft. They're I don't even know what to call it. AI? Probably not AI, that's probably the wrong word. But these are just, God, so convoluted. I wish I could squat and then place them in a direction, or like right click once they're placed to turn them. That would make life so much easier and just more relaxing to place rails. I think I placed that wrong, don't I? Yeah, I want this to be a little tail and this to be a curve. Yeah, no? Come on. Alright, after some mildly frustrating times here, we have all of our rails placed in the directions that they need to be placed, which is fantastic and not at all irritating. It's not like I hate rails or anything, only gravel. But we are gonna grab a hopper and a minecart and make a hopper minecart. We are gonna give our little system a test and a hopper minecart a nudge. Looking good, looking fantastic, fully functioning, perfectly perfect. Everything is now in line and we can start placing our magma blocks. So the first thing I'll do when I'm placing magma blocks over the top of rails, I'll just build a little perimeter. I don't know why I do it, but it's something I always do. I find it satisfying, maybe? I just build a perimeter around it. No real rhyme or reason. Maybe it's to not fall off. Maybe it's because I like perimeters. Maybe it's because it's entertaining and this is mildly boring. Who really knows? I don't. I just want to build a perimeter. Specifically, out of magma blocks. Looking good, looking great. Now we've moved on from the perimeter and we're filling in the insides. Fantastic. Honestly, we both know that this is just really annoying and I'm trying to entertain myself. It helps that it's at head height and super easy to place. But I kept this in here because it actually takes a lot longer than you'd think to place blocks in sync on large plates. And I just kept it in here because we're going to be placing a lot of blocks on flat levels. And it's going to make it look so much cooler when you realize how much time is actually put into building giant flat things. Too much time. But on the plus side, our giant flat magma cube block is now finished. We can just fly away. Take a good look at it from the sky, and it's looking square and red. Exactly what I expected, but it's looking great. I think it looks very beautiful, because I think farms are beautiful. Perfect. That is going to be our squid farm. That is at the perfect height for spawning of squids from our AFK point. Now we are just going to grab some cobblestone and make a wall around it. So this is just an interesting little tidbit. If you squat on magma blocks, you won't take damage. It's perfectly safe. These are not Frostwalker boots. If I stand up, it's going to start to hurt. If I squat again, I'm going to be safe. You don't need Frostwalker or any fancy enchantments. All you need is your shift key, your left joystick, whatever you want. Just squat on the magma blocks. Perfectly safe. We are actually going to get started on this border now. And this border is looking pretty good. We are now going to put it up 1/2 just to negate spawning. Little things always make farms better. Spawning always makes farms better. Always spawn proof every single build you have. It's going to save you headaches. And now it's time to place the water. And we are just going to go right along this diagonal and place our ice blocks. Now we are going to do pretty much the same thing, just along the sides. Always doing every other block just to save on ice. Ooh, I'm getting a lot of lag here. Cool, and just like that, we have 2 full layers. We should be getting squid spawns. As you can see, there's a bunch of items down there. Bones, bone meal, and fish. We really don't want the fish. We'll pretty much be throwing all of that away, but we will be keeping the bones. Now it's time to test it out a little bit and see if we can actually get some squid spawns. So we are going to fly up here to our AFK platform. Stand right here, looting sword out, and see if we can get some drops. So it looks as though we are only getting fish spawns. I am unsure as to why, but if I were a betting man, I would say squids can't spawn in bubble columns, which is a little odd, because literally everything else can, but I'm not seeing squids. Well, it's not working. So I'm going to tinker around in a creative world, see if we can get this fixed, but we have resources and we have a fully functional mob farm. So I'm going to count this as a win still, and with this exceptionally annoying failure, we're going to call that an episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Hello. If you're still watching, thank you. I appreciate it. And I have a question for you. I recently got a new mic, and I put it to use in this video. If you could tell me where, and if you like the sound of the mic better than the old one, that would be greatly appreciated. Goodbye.